For the 8th year in a row, teams from around the Atlantic Coast Collegiate Hockey Conference converge in Winston-Salem in hopes of lifting the Admirals Cup by the end of the weekend. Tonight, the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship begins with a play-in matchup between the 9-seed James Madison Dukes and the 8-seed Charlotte 49ers. Welcome to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. My name is Paul Roper. Thank you for joining us. Last week, the Virginia Tech Hokies captured the ACCHL's Men's Division II Premier Championship in this facility. And in 3 days, we'll find out who joins them as ACCHL royalty, with 10 teams hoping to stake their claim on the Admirals Cup. It's a tall order for the 4 schools taking the ice tonight. They'll need to win 4 games in 4 days to win a championship. That will include taking down a high seed in tomorrow's quarterfinal as top seed St. Joseph's and 2-seed Virginia await the winners of each of these games. The Hawks will face the winner of our first game between James Madison and Charlotte. These teams met at the St. James in Springfield, Virginia in November. Drew Bauman got the Niners off to a hot start with 2 goals within the first 72 seconds, and they didn't look back at a 4-1 win over the Dukes. Bauman will be a key for the Niners tonight, along with Zach Morrow. The freshman from New Jersey led Charlotte with 25 points this season. Meanwhile, the Dukes will turn to the likes of Eric Cipriano and Max Palladino to lead the way. Cipriano led JMU with 33 points. Palladino paced the Dukes with 16 goals, and it goes without saying that the Dukes will want to avoid the sluggish start that they had their last meeting against the Niners if they want to advance tonight. So we begin with JMU and Charlotte, and they'll be followed by a terrific nightcap between 2 rivals, 10-seed Appalachian State, 7-seed East Carolina. It's all coming your way here from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we get ready to kick off the 2026 ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship in a matter of moments. Now we pause for a few moments.
Number 21, forward Eric Cipriano. Number 23, forward Max Palladino. And in goal, number 1, Rylan Gibbons. The Dukes are coached by Brian Flory. Now, for the Niners, number 10, forward Sean Roach. Number 23, defender Jeremy
Welcome back to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we get ready for the Dukes and the 49ers in our first playing game of the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Paul Roper with you, and the starting lineups just introduced here at the Fairgrounds Arena for James Madison. Up front, it will be Eric Cipriano, Max Palladino, and Christian Adamski, the defenseman, Jackson Paxilowski, and Vinny Lowry. And in goal, Rylan Gibbons. He's been the workhorse for the Dukes this season. 6'5" sophomore from Sparta, New Jersey. 15-4-3, 2.58 ERA. Save percentage of over 92%. Actually did not face the Niners when these teams met back in November. In fact, both of tonight's starting goaltenders were not playing in that game. It's actually Kai Blevins who faced 37 shots, stopped 33 of them in a 4-1 win for Charlotte over James Madison. For the Charlotte 49ers up front, Zach Morrow, along with Drew Bauman and Sean Roach, defenseman Jeremy Brodeur and Aiden Behrman, and the starting goaltender Cameron Holman, the junior from Boca Raton. 3-5 record, 3.39 ERA, and a save percentage of 91.5 are underway with the Dukes controlling the play. At the top of the circle, it's Cipriano. Back to the point, a shot. It's into the chest of the goaltender, Cameron Holman. Stop play early going. Winner of this game will take on the 1 seed, St. Joseph's tomorrow from Hawk Hill in Philadelphia. Charlotte wearing the gold jerseys tonight. Dukes in the purples. Had controlled the offensive zone draw, but the Niners able to break out a potential break, but the Dukes able to catch up. There's a nice check from Palladino, and it ends up behind the net. And Cipriano will clear it out to center. Dukes get their first line change in. As the Niners try to set up the attack, it's stopped by Lowry near the red line. Taps it ahead off the stick of Higginbotham. Puck is loose. Higginbotham gathers, fires off a weak shot that's stopped by Workman in front. Niners trying to clear out of their own end and get it red line off the stick of JMU's Evan Gould. Now back the other way, the Dukes go. That's sent in deep. Workman gives chase. Controlling for the Niners. Where the puck is stolen along the boards. Shot from the slot blocked off the stick of Gould. Ends up off the cage. Now back into the slot with a good poke check to clear it out for the Niners by Drew Bauman. Teams trying to feel each other out here in the opening couple of minutes. Duke starting the play from their own end, but a steal at center by Morrow. Sends it on goal. And Gibbons will freeze to stop play. 1 minute, 47 seconds in. Dukes led by second-year head coach Patrick Keogh. Took over the Dukes after a terrific tenure at Langley High School in Virginia. Spent 6 seasons there. His first season led the Saxons to their first state title. They would wind up winning 4, including each of the last 3 seasons he guided the Saxons as their head coach. Now in his second year leading purple and gold of James Madison. They win the defensive zone draw. This goes into the corner. Rewe trying to gather it, but it's stolen now. Niners look to start the cycle. Centering pass off of Bauman. Ends up back at the point. Shot and a good block to clear it out of the in towards the neutral zone by Day. Declan Day. Behind the net, Quaid. Trying to find somebody in front. It ends up off the stick of Roach and cleared out the center, and Bauman will chip it deep. Both teams begin a line change. Around his own net, it's Tyler Wise. Sends it up along the left wing. Dix tries to intercept. Instead, it ends up into the stick of Larson. As the Niners try to regroup. Sent into the zone by Dix. And behind the Dukes net, Lowry trying to clear it away. Out along the half wall. Dylan Sessa can't dig it out. Workman will work it backwards. Over for Larson. And whacked back into Duke's territory by Dix. Lowry tries to lead the charge. Hands it off to Hayes. Sends it in deep. Bounced off of a player, so no icing. And again, Workman. Try and get it out. Head to Sessa. Now in the center, it's flipped in by Kyle Beelans. And behind the net, there's Pasolowski. Wraps around the cage, throws a ferocious check on William Bradley. Yeah, an offside call here as Brown entered the zone too early, with Bradley still stranded, feeling the effects that hit he took from Pasolowski. Still trying to get some action going here. Each team with a shot on goal in the early going. 3 minutes, 33 seconds in. Between the Dukes and the 49ers. Second meeting between the schools this season. Niners took a lone game back in Springfield, Virginia in November by the score of 4-1. They're already up 2-0 at this point. Drew Bauman scoring 2 goals in a span of 44 seconds by the minute 12 mark of the first period. For the Dukes, wanted to avoid that sluggish start like they had last time. So far, so good. Just hasn't been much action yet. A shot from the point. Whistles wide of the net. Now here's Lowry. Lowry coming in deep. Centering pass is taken away. And the Niners able to clear out. It's Bauman. That's Drew Bauman. And the shot on goal into the glove of Blevins, and he'll cover. Gibbons, rather, covering up. It was Blevins, as I mentioned, who was the starting goaltender when these teams met in November. It's Benjamin Brainin, who got the win for the Niners. He is backing up tonight. 34 saves, and perhaps his best effort of the season in net for the Niners, but he's backing up Cameron Holman tonight. In his own end, it's Denoya as he sends it off the body of Gould deep into the Niners zone. Chipped out by Sean Roach, and then taken back in towards center ice. Here's Roach trying to push it forward, and pass intercepted nicely by Higginbotham, trying to get around the defender. He can't. Good defensive play from Jeremy Brodeur. Now back the other way the Dukes go. Higginbotham a shot. It's blocked and out of play off the body of Aiden Behrman. Another face-off to come. 4:53 gone by opening period, no score. An 8th year in a row, Winston-Salem has hosted the ACCHL Hockey Championships. Done a great job hosting this event through the years, which spans across 2 weekends. As Dukes try to go on the attack here. Cross ice, here's Tyler Wise pinching in. Shot fired wide. Now the battle on the boards, trying to dig it out is Day for the Dukes. Getting some help from Ryan Quaid. Now here's Day to control, turnaround shot, and towards his teammate Mowry. Now Mowry trying to cycle. On him is Reese Workman. Back to the point, shot floats over the net from the stick of Brendan Rewe and rattles out of the zone. Here come the Niners the other way. However, Kyle Beelan lost control of the puck. Now potential break. In on goal, a shot fired wide of the net. Good effort from Michael Maley, but he sent it wide. Blocker side of Cameron Holman. First good shot for either team. First good attempt. Now the Niners try to respond. It's Ian Brown. Feeds it into the corner. Jimmy Hayes there to take it away. He's able to clear it out over the stick of Kuchera. Now battling for the puck along with Maley, who had that breakaway moments ago. A couple of whacks at the puck by Peters, native of Denmark. It ends up in behind the Duke's net. Lowry picks it up. Tried to get Maley again, but it went through him. No icing, as there are 2 Duke players there to get it. Peters was the first there. Leaves it for Maley. Back to Peters behind the net. Peters bangs it off the net. Looking for someone in front. Goes all the way back to the point. It's knocked down by Lowry. Lowry towards the net. It's kicked away by the skate of William Bradley, and the Niners able to clear, avoiding danger once again, but that's intercepted at the red line by Adamski. A good job stepping up by Kuchera to knock it out. Now here come the Dukes the other way with a 2-on-1. A shot. That's kicked away. Another chance in front. Battle for it. And another couple nice saves from Cameron Holman. And the Niners clear out the center. Good pressure over the last couple of minutes from James Madison. Shot from the high slot. Candidates off of a Niner and out of play as Cipriano is looking towards goal. And play stops with 12:44 to go in our opening period. No score. And the Niners getting some good chances right there. Nice kick save by Holman. And a good chance in front. And Holman got a piece of that. Might have been assisted by Aiden Behrman, who was right in front of the net as well. It might have gone off of his right hip. A couple of good chances for the Dukes in the last few minutes. Niners send it in deep, but this will be called for an icing. Sean Roach did not gain the red before he sent it down the rest of the way, so another zone back of the Charlotte zone. Another face-off back of the Charlotte zone. With 12:36 to go here in the first. Niners control another face-off. Brodeur trying to clear it out, but stopped by Gould. Leaves it in behind the net. Brodeur set it in off the boards and out. Drew Brauman breaks out for the Niners. Into Duke territory. Leaves it back for Roach. Roach with a shot. Flutters towards it. Another chance in front. They whack at it, and it's covered up by Rylan Gibbons. Almost some extracurriculars after the whistle. Gibbons sure to get out of the way from that. So Charlotte with their first good scoring chance here. Being outshot 5-3 in the early going by the Dukes. And look one more time. Good chance goes begging for Zach Morrow. 11 goals in 20 games this season. And one of the Niner goals in the previous meeting in November was 2 by Drew Bauman, 1 by William Bradley, another by Zach Morrow. Shot on goal, and again covering up is Gibbons off the point shot from Charlotte, Zachary Larson. Now Morrow to take the draw. That's Ryan Quaid, and again covered up by the goaltender Gibbons. Plays come to a standstill with a few stoppages over the last few seconds. Niners trying to control. The puck is attempted to be cleared out by Maori. Said Day will send it in deep. Behind the net to retrieve it is Larson. Now in behind the net. Day tried to get at the circle, lost the handle on it. Back to the point shot, deflects through traffic. That's knocked away. Ryan Quaid providing the screen in front. Another point shot goes wide of the net off the stick of Rewe. Puck squirts out to center. Got a timeout on the ice with 11:30 to play in our opening period. We'll take a timeout. James Madison nothing, Charlotte nothing. Play-in game here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds at the 2026 ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Welcome back to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. No score between James Madison and Charlotte. Paul Roper with you. Thanks for joining us. Here the first game of the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Winner will face top seed St. Joe's tomorrow night. The puck is sent in on goal and covered up by Cameron Holman to stop play. Shots are now 7-5 in favor of James Madison. Really slow going through the first 5 minutes or so, and then the last 3 minutes the action's picked up. Each team getting a few scoring chances, particularly a breakaway chance for Michael Maley of JMU and a good chance in front for Charlotte's Zach Morrow. Now the Dukes try to cycle. Good stick work by the Niners to try and clear that away. Another battle in front, and again Cameron Holman scampers on top of the puck to cover up and force a draw at his own end. After this game, we will see App State and East Carolina. As we take a look one more time at Holman covering up on the play. Dukes win the draw. Shot back of the point. Blockered away by Holman. Behind the net, Palladino. Leading goal scorer for the Dukes. And a high slot shot wide of the net from the stick of Cipriano. Now Lowry tried to pitch in to keep it alive. Instead swats it in the direction of Larson, and he'll send it in deep, and another icing call on Charlotte. The faceoff goes back to the 49er zone. Take a look at the Charlotte bench, led by head coach James McCarthy in his first season. He's a Charlotte alum, played for this Niner program from 2018 to 2023, was an assistant last season, promoted to head coach prior to this campaign. Dukes win the draw, shot from the point. Rocketed wide of the net by Denoya. Kept alive by Gould. Now Denoya tries to handle it on the backhand. Instead will scoop it in behind the net. Trying to gather his Gould, but he gets some help. Higginbotham gates it back to the point. Being back checked by Brown. Eventually the Dukes able to get it in deep to the corner for Jimmy Hayes. Hayes behind the net. Trying to work him over as Larson. Dug around Higginbotham and now back towards the point. Shot from the point, deflected. Ends up wide of the net, went off the stick of Higginbotham. Battle on the boards. A couple of hard hits as Hayes battles for the puck, along with Charlotte's Bradley. Eventually the Niners able to clear it out. Here's Brown trying to get around the D. Brown into Duke territory. Spun to the boards by Gould. Dukes can't clear. Work to chip it in deep by Morrow. It ends up behind the net. Now the Niners take over as Owenby then overskates the puck. Almost a collision of friendly fire between JMU teammates. Higginbotham able to recover and set it in. As the player goes down, we've got a penalty coming up. JMU will go on the power play as Kelda Maori was tripped up going into the Niners' end. So we will see our first man advantage on the tripping call that is assessed to Charlotte's Jeremy Brodeur. So Brodeur will go in for tripping. Take a look one more time at that stick into the skate and draw the tripping call at 10:40. So now, power play opportunity for the Dukes. It's taken by Larson. He'll clear it down the length of the ice. Gibbons leaves it for Lowry. Lowry around his own net, being chased around by Morrow. Now the Dukes struggling to break out of their end on the man advantage, which has 90 seconds remaining on it. Over 11 minutes into the game. No score. Dukes on the power play. Right now struggling to get across the red line. Good work on this penalty kill from the Niners. Now the Dukes able to break in. Cipriano. Lowry high slot. Shot wide of the net. In the corner it's Adamski. Back to Lowry. Skates it around the defense and shoots it over the net. Went off of a Niner. The face-off will stay in the Niner zone. Now with 1:02 left on the James Madison power play. Trying to break the ice here in our first play-in game of the night here at Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Jimmy Hayes ready to take the face-off against Charlotte's Dylan Sessa. Dukes control the draw. The point, it's Carbone behind the net. Hayes turns it in front. A kick save off the one-timer. Nice save by Holman. Shot from the high slot. Another shot turned aside by Holman. Off to a strong start so far. As the Dukes try to amp up the pressure on the power play. Shot from the circle. Fired wide of the net by Maori. Drew the penalty. Dukes try again from the high slot. Scatters over the net. A puck loose. Clearing opportunity and successfully cleared by Bradley. Bradley now trying to chase the puck. Kill some more time on the penalty, which has 20 seconds remaining on it. Now the Niners will play some keep away with Zach Larson. And he'll send it down the length of the ice. Down to the final 10 seconds of the JMU man advantage. Got a few shots off, but still can't solve Cameron Holman. We remain scoreless. As heading out of the box is Jeremy Brodeur, teams at full strength. And we remain scoreless in Winston-Salem. Here comes Hayes. Hayes, the centering pass. It ends up into the glove of the goaltender Holman, who will again cover up. And he's off to a nice start so far, stopping all 12 Duke shots. Like James Madison has had the last 6 shots on goal. It was 6-5 at one point. It now shots on goal read 12-5 for James Madison. In the Niners zone, battle along the boards. Tyler Wise in there along with Sean Roach. A couple of players join in for the Niners to try and dig it out. Roach is able to dig it loose towards Jensen. Jensen around the boards. Now it's Drew Bauman. Bauman will try to retreat, looking to gain some space. Bauman into center. Bauman down the lane. Bauman. Is that knocked away? Now the Dukes try to clear. They do. This pass is sent forward to Adamski, but it's knocked away by the stick of Brodeur. And on the forecheck there, Max Palladino trying to get it back for the Dukes. At the red line, it's flipped in by Hayes into Niner territory. So bangs off the corner and behind the cage. We have a stoppage in play. Puck touched with a high stick. That stops play with 6:09 to go in our opening period. No score between James Madison and Charlotte. Right now, the man of the moment right there on your screen, Cameron Holman. Turned aside 12 shots. JMU and only one goal to show for their efforts against Charlotte this season. Charlotte netminers have stopped 46 of 47 shots in almost 4 periods played between the two teams this year. At center ice, Higginbotham. It's knocked into the Niners zone. Now Behrman. Heading to center, trying to work with the puck and a high hit. Dislodged the puck momentarily from Owenby, and Brown able to knock it into the Duke zone, where it's picked up by Lowry. Lowry around his own net on the breakout pass. It's off the stick of Gould, knocked away by Kuchera. Now Brown tried to set ahead. It's stopped at the red line by Lowry. He'll send it in the rest of the ice. Takes a strange bounce off the corner boards. Niners try to wrap it around the boards and out. Brown tips it out, but into the stick of Lowry. Backwards to Pasolowski. Puck loose at center, and Pasolowski will set it in just wide of the cage. Behind the net, Behrman retrieves. Chips it forward to Brown. Out in the center, William Bradley. Into the zone, there's a shot. Owenby had that blocked, and then he was hit hard, taking some punishment as a result. Charlotte's been held without a shot for at least 8 minutes. Shots are still 12-5. James Madison, no scores. We approach 4.5 minutes remaining in our opening period. Down to chase it is Carbone. He's behind his own net. He takes a tough hit there from Owenby. Now the Niners on the attack, but a good job to intercept the pass in front of the net by DeNoia. Now again, the puck loose at center. Owenby will launch it out of play. 4:16 to go. Period number 1, no score. And Charlotte has survived the barrage of JMU attempts for now. They're able to kill off a penalty. Right now, Cameron Holman and the rest of his teammates up to the challenge from James Madison. They're taken down by this same Charlotte team 4-1 back in November. The stakes much different here. It's a win or go home situation here in Winston-Salem throughout the weekend. Behind his own net, Behrman, as he looks to break out, instead will flip it towards center. It's knocked down by DeNoia, and he chips it forward to Peters. Peters, on the half wall, skates towards the corner. On him is Behrman. Back to the point. Carbone trying to step forward. Phelan tries to knock it loose. He's able to gather the puck, send it forward to Dix, who gains the red and clears the rest of the way. That'll allow the Niners to get the line change off. Now it's Peters. Slides it along into Niner territory. It's an icing. It was out of the reach of Michael Maley. We'll go all the way back to the Duke's end after the icing call. And on the draw, Zach Morrow against Cipriano. Dukes win the faceoff. Kept in at the point by Behrman. Back around the boards behind the net. It's DeNoia. Now Cipriano will skate it out to center. Gets around Morrow. Cipriano into the zone. Cipriano now behind the net, trying to find somebody in front. Adamski was there. Now he has it. He shoots. It's blockered away, and a terrific save by Holman. Another chance. Cipriano. That's blocked in front, and the Niners able to clear. Another good save from Cameron Holman after another good chance for James Madison. Now coming on net, Palladino tries to swing one around in front. There to cover it is Holman. And he will stop the action with 2:35 to go. James Madison has controlled the last 10 minutes or so since the media timeout. And this was the best chance that they had. And that was poked nicely away, but it ended up back to Adamski. Looked to go top shelf. Holman with a terrific save. He has stopped 16 James Madison shots. Keep the game scoreless. Dukes win an offensive zone draw behind the net. Higginbotham. Shot blocked in front. And the Niners will clear it out. It's Workman. Workman gains the red, dumps it right on goal. And Gibbons chooses to stop play. Freezes the puck with 2:12 to go. Taking the draw for the Niners was William Bradley. Niners able to control. It's Bradley now in the corner. Leaves it behind for Brown. He's being chased by Hayes. Brown over to the half wall. Now skates to the high slot. Leaves it back for Workman. Workman a shot. Deflects wide. Loose in the corner. Brown applies a hard check on Rewe. But the Duke's able to clear it nonetheless. Workman stops it at the center line. Now the Dukes try to break out. Brown has the puck at his skates. Able to snuff out that opportunity. Then it's chipped in deep by Tyler Wise. That'll allow the Dukes to get a line change in. Under 100 seconds remaining in our opening period. Still looking for our icebreaker here in Winston-Salem with no score. Now it's Lowry. Off the end boards to Pasolowski. Pasolowski being chased by a couple of Niners. Now behind the net, Lowry leaves it for Pasolowski as the Dukes try to break out. Pasolowski whiffs on the puck, and that allows it to be sent in deep by Owenby. Stopped behind the net by Gibbons. Now Declan Day. Into the final minute here in the opening period. In behind the net. There's a wraparound shot. It's off the side of the cage. Good attempt from Ryan Quaid. Back to the point, it's Day. Pasolowski. Player goes down for the Dukes. Play continues. We're trying to battle in the corner, along with Day. It's chipped into the opposite corner. Quaid tries to play it off the end boards. Opportunity for Roach to clear it out, and he does. Up in front of his own end by Lowry. Final 20 seconds here in the opening period in Winston-Salem. Brodeur behind his own cage. Has that taken away. It's Cipriano trying to gain control of the puck, get a last chance opportunity. We have a stoppage of play and a penalty call with 7.8 seconds to go. A penalty called on the Charlotte 49ers. And again, Jeremy Brodeur is the guilty party. High sticking on Brodeur, coming at the 1952 mark. Niners get the defensive zone draw and the clear, and that'll do it for our first period here in Winston-Salem. So James Madison controls the second half of this period as they outshoot the Niners 16-6. They will have a minute 53 remaining on the power play when we resume action in the second period. No score between James Madison and Charlotte as we head into the first intermission here in Winston-Salem. This is the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. We have no score between Charlotte and James Madison. Paul Roper with you. Please be joined by Charlotte head coach James McCarthy. And, Coach, in that first period, it was all about the goaltender Cameron Holman. He made some great stops. What do you have to say about his play in the first 20 minutes?
I would say Cam definitely kept us in that game. First period, we got to pick it up in our D zone and give him some help. We just came out a little flat, so he's kind of been the rock for that period, and he's the reason it's 0-0 right now.
Well, you'll start in the second period shorthanded. What are some of the things besides that penalty kill that you hope to work on for the rest of these 40 minutes?
So one of the things is we just have to cut down that stretch that they're throwing that guy. Second, they get the puck in their own zone. They're throwing two guys high, so we just have to be disciplined on our forecheck and make sure we maintain that high guy so we can take away those opportunities they're getting.
Well, you're in your first season leading the Niners. You're a Charlotte alum. How does it feel to lead a team that you once played for and have the opportunity to coach these young kids?
It's a great privilege and an honor to be able to still be here with Charlotte and now behind the bench.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for joining us during the first intermission.
Thank you very much.
He is Charlotte head coach James McCarthy. My name is Paul Roper, and we thank you for joining us here from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. No score. Story of that first period, the play of Cameron Holman, 16 saves for the Charlotte 49ers. As he's kept this game scoreless, the Dukes out shooting the Niners 16-6. However, James Madison will have a power play for a minute 53 when we resume action at the start of the second period. We'll continue our festivities in a moment. You're watching the 2026 ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Welcome back to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Charlotte and James Madison, no score after one period of play. Paul Roper with you. Thanks for joining us. Here are the 2026 ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Let's take a look at the rest of the bracket. It is an action-packed weekend here at the Fairgrounds. We'll have one game coming up after ours. It's the 10-seed App State, the 7-seed East Carolina. Those schools don't like each other. That's going to be a fun one when that comes after this game between James Madison and Charlotte. The winner of this game will play the top seed St. Joe's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. No word on whether the Hawks mascot will be here. He goes to every basketball game and flaps his wings. Can't say he'll be in Winston-Salem or not. Meanwhile, the 10-seed App State taking on East Carolina tonight. Winner of that game will face the Virginia Cavaliers in the nightcap at approximately 9:45. We've got a pair of morning games tomorrow. 5-seed Richmond, 4-seed Elon Phoenix will kick things off early in the morning at 8 o'clock. And then it is Georgetown and Georgia Tech, the Ramblin' Wreck against the Hoyas, for a 10:30 puck drop inside Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Semifinals Saturday, and then they'll award the Admirals Cup in the Division II Elite Division at 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. So that's a look at the bracket. James Madison, a strong first period. They did everything but score thanks to the efforts of Cameron Holman, the netminder for Charlotte. 16 saves in the opening period. Rylan Gibbons only faced 6 shots, and he stopped them all in the opening frame for JMU. As we remain scoreless after 20 minutes of play, the Charlotte 49ers will be shorthanded for a minute 53 to open period number 2 as a result of the second minor penalty assessed to Jeremy Brodeur. We'll continue on here at our intermission, and no score between James Madison and Charlotte here from Winston-Salem. Welcome back to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we get ready for the start of the second period between James Madison and Charlotte. No score. The Dukes will have a power play for the first minute 53 of the second period. My name is Paul Roper. Thank you for joining us. Wherever you may be watching tonight, we've got another game coming up between App State and East Carolina to close out our play-in round. Here are the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Shots on goal in the opening period, 16-6 for James Madison, thanks to 16 saves from Cameron Holman. He has kept the Dukes off the board. His counterpart, Rylan Gibbons, has 6 saves for JMU. Really only one of those high-quality scoring chances for Charlotte. That was when Zach Morrow was capped in front of the net. Couldn't quite get a good shot off. Meanwhile, James Madison had quite a few scoring attempts. Eric Cipriano was denied in front on a good chance, and perhaps their best chance was off of a mini breakaway from Michael Maley, but he sent it wide blocker side of the net. James Madison has had some time to discuss how they want to approach this power play, which will have a minute 53 on it at the start of the second period. As the team switch ends, and also noteworthy, it is the long change here in the second period for each of these teams from their own defensive zone. James Madison might hope to catch a few tired Niners during this man advantage. They get some hooks in deep and continue to cycle well as they did during the second half of this first period. And Jeremy Brodeur in the box. Took a penalty with 7.8 seconds remaining in the period. He has both penalties in this game. Adamski ready to take this face-off against Charlotte's Zach Morrow. We're underway with period number 2. And the Niners on the man advantage. It's Gould. Plays it in deep, but it's knocked quickly back out by Behrman. And again, the Dukes will have to regroup. Lowry bangs it off the boards. Now Cipriano gains the red, dumps it deep. Adamski tries to chase, instead leaves it back for Gould. Now Lowry chips it to the circle. It's knocked quickly out by Aiden Behrman down the length of the ice. There's a right in on goal as well. Power play down to a minute 15. There's Lowry in the center. Lowry. And forgot the puck. Ends up being offsides as a result as he overskates it. And James Madison will send out their second power play unit with a minute 9 to go on the man advantage. And a face-off outside the Charlotte zone. Jimmy Hayes leads up the second unit, taking the draw against William Bradley. Dukes control the face-off. Higginbotham chips it forward. Now in on goal is a shot fired into the corner by Hayes. Now Hayes has it back behind the net. On him is Workman. Here's Day. Hayes in the corner. Tries to center, but there to take it away is Bradley. He'll skate it out to center along with Dylan Sessa. As it's sent in forward into Duke's territory. Retreating behind his own net, Carbone. 35 seconds to go with a man advantage. Look for the game's opening goal here early in the second period. Duke struggling to get it towards center. Day off the boards, has that intercepted by Workman. He'll play it forward. It's knocked around back and towards center ice. Again, gathered in his own end by Behrman. Here will kill some more time as he lifts it deep. And a good pass. And on ahead, it's Bauman, kicked away by the right leg of Rylan Gibbons. Hard shot there from Drew Bauman, who scored 2 goals against James Madison back in November. And the penalty now over as Jeremy Brodeur exits the box. Teams at full strength, still scoreless in Winston-Salem, 2 minutes into the second period. Potential icing call here, and there it is, as Eldon Maori is beat out by Reese Workman as the puck crosses the goal line. So play stops 2 minutes, 5 seconds in. And Charlotte's now successfully killed off 2 man advantages. Zach Morrow. He's ready to take this draw. Right now, some confusion as to what personnel each team should have on the ice. It'll be Cipriano on the draw against Zach Morrow. Charlotte has all 3 shots here in the early going of the second period. Now we have a stoppage here. And they're going to send the face-off to center ice. So I guess they're going to call it an errant icing. And an inadvertent whistle, if you will. So center ice draw is controlled by the Dukes, sent in deep. They wave off the icing there. Brodeur trying to clear it out. He whacks the puck. It's kept in by Wise, in behind the net. Adamski tries to swing it in front, but it's cleared away. Now Roach able to clear it. Looking ahead for Bauman. He fell down. Wise able to take over. He's beaten to the puck by Morrow. Now in behind the net, Adamski tries to put one in front. Palladino can't get it as it rolls off the stick, and now here comes Bauman the other way. Drew Bauman into Duke's territory. Takes a shot, blockered away by Gibbons. Gathered by Palladino. Goes cross ice. Reilly. Back to Palladino. He's got a 2-on-1. Palladino centers one. It's stick to side by Holman. Now back at the point. Shot by Wise, or rather Haselowski. Whistles wide of the net. And it's cleared out the center by Roach. Lowry takes over at the red, trying to skate it back in. He's denied entry into the zone by Morrow. And again, the Dukes will try to regroup as they look to break out. Gould for the Dukes. Leaves it back. Shot from the half wall, wide of the net from Hayes. Sharp angle shot, that's blocked. Ends up back at the point, and it's kept alive. Good hustle there by Gould, trying to send it in deep. Brodeur there to try and intercept, but he lost control of the puck. Higginbotham, it's a wraparound opportunity that's knocked aside by Holman. Back at the point, Lowry. Around the boards, behind the net, Jimmy Hayes. Hayes tries to put one in front, ends up in the skates of Beeland. Sessa now leaves it backwards, and it's finally cleared off the glass by the Niners. Potential offside here, as the Dukes would have to touch up. And here comes Peter Muchaccio into the Duke zone. Battle along the boards. A couple of players from each team. Muchaccio digs it out. Tries to leave it backward. Instead, Jensen unable to keep it in as it goes back out towards center. And now the Dukes will retreat back into their own end and look to break out. 4.5 minutes gone by. Still no score here in the second period. Haselowski tries to keep it at the point. He cannot. Brown chases for Charlotte. Instead, it ends up onto the stick of Pasolowski. Looking forward. He'll wave off ice in here thanks to the hustle of Mowry. Now it's Mowry behind the net. Makes a hard check from Behrman. Charlotte trying to clear it out. Puck was fanned by O&B. Dukes try to start the cycle again. Quaid looks in front. And there's Behrman. They clear it away. He's made some good defensive plays in this one so far. Brown's onside. Day battling with him. In front of them is Denoya as they battle behind the net. The puck is dug out by Owenby. Leaves it back to the point, but it can't be kept in by Larson. He'll have to chase all the way back in his own end. Stopped behind the cage by Holman. Niners will try again on the breakout. Morrow has a roll off his stick to Denoya. Denoya. Workman there to intercept, but ends up back to Gould. Now it's Carbone. Carbone in on goal. Knocked away. Here's Day. Day looks to put it in front. Puck swatted towards the boards. And it's kept alive. Carbone at the point. Goes into the corner behind the net. Day looked for somebody in front, but Quaid couldn't get a stick on it. And the Niners able to clear out. Here's Brown. Brown puts one in front. And a whiff on a potential goal right there. Oh my, Larson had a good opportunity. Just fanned on it. He had a wide open cage after the rebound left from the Ian Brown shot. And we have a delayed penalty coming up on the Niners. James Madison will go on their third power play as the goaltender goes to the bench for the extra attacker. Delayed penalty call on Charlotte. Charlotte just trying to gain control of the puck. It's kept alive by Palladino. Finally, it's touched up by Charlotte's Zach Morrow. It stops play at the 6:34 mark. And it's another tripping call on the Niners. Sean Roach, the guilty party. So James Madison on their third power play. They're 0 for 2. Shot on goal and a save into the chest. Cameron Holman. Another faceoff will come to his left. Damsky to take the draw. Against Morrow. Niners win the draw and are able to clear it down the length of the ice. Lowry picks it up behind his own net. Waits for some help. Morrow there on the forecheck. Now out in the center, Gould. Gould into Niner territory. Gould leaves it back. Palladino on the high slot. Lowry a shot wide of the net. Opportunity for the Niners to clear. They do, thanks to Morrow. 1:30 to go on the power play for James Madison, their third of the evening. Adamski ahead for Cipriano. Cipriano spins around at the point. Tries to find Lowry, goes through him to Adamski, chips it into the corner. Gould now left for Adamski. The power play goes to work. Adamski's shot. There's a save. Big rebound in front. Another save. Third opportunity ends up behind the net. It was a good chance for Palladino. Now 3 Dukes battling along with Jeremy Brodeur. Dukes gain control. Adamski looking for somebody in front. He'll take the shot himself. It's knocked aside. Back to Gould. 50 seconds to go on the JMU power play. Gould behind the net. Adamski trying to find somebody in front. Instead, ends up back at the point. Kept alive by Lowry. Chips it around Morrow. Lowry lost it into the skates, and Brodeur will clear it out. Vital clear for Jeremy Brodeur and the Niners. They'll get a line change, as will the Dukes, with 25 seconds to go on the JMU power play. And they commit an icing on said power play. That'll kill off some more precious time on this penalty kill for Charlotte. Game that remains scoreless. 8 minutes, 12 seconds into the second period. Look at Rush Higginbotham, 6'2" junior center from Crozet, Virginia. Hometown of Rice football coach Scott Abel, former longtime head coach at Davidson. Niners able to win the draw and kill off some more time. It's out to center. Owenby able to take it away, and that should kill off the rest of this penalty. Another good penalty kill for Charlotte as Sean Roach is set to escape from the box, which he does. Teams at full strength. Still scoreless. 11:20 and rolling on the second period clock. Chera in the corner evades the check from Higginbotham. Higginbotham steals a shot, save, rebound, whacked over the net by Higginbotham. Another good opportunity for JMU goes by the wayside. They remain on the attack. Shot from the slot by Carbone, deflects wide into the corner. Now Day circles the net. Day back to the net. Swings it back in front. Instead, it'll go around the boards. Gets through the stick of Mowry. Opportunity for Owenby to clear, and he gets some help. Duke's able to keep it in. Scherer couldn't get it out. Now another opportunity as Owenby has it behind the net. And Owenby effortlessly gets it out to center. 2-on-2. Here's Bradley. Centering pass knocked away by Higginbotham. Good play on both ends with the scoring chance and a good stick work there. Run a good opportunity for Charlotte. Now here's Brown into the JMU zone. Brown drops it back for Owenby. The shot off the glove and then whacked out to center. Puck slowly slides towards the cage. No icing. Almost a steal and a mishandle of the puck. Adamski shot from the circle, blockered away. Into the corner. Palladino back to the point. Wise blocked in front. Another chance, Palladino, and that's gobbled up by the netminder. And Holman with his 25th save to keep this game scoreless. What a good one we've had so far. Still no score. We'll take a break here for the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Back to action with 9:55 to go in our second period. Still looking for the game's first goal. Cameron Holman's been outstanding. 25 saves, including 9 here in the second period. Shots are 9-4 James Madison in the second. And overall, they lead the shot count 25-10. There's a shot. Save, another chance in front. Adamski couldn't get a stick on it after the centering feed by Palladino. Back to the point, Wise. He's behind the net. Oh, good opportunity for Palladino, but he's stoned by the netminder, Cameron Holman. Making a couple of more saves in that sequence. Now 27 shots by James Madison. None of them have gone past Cameron Holman. And he's had a good few opportunities as Max Palladino entered the day with 16 goals in 28 games. Sophomore from Wellesley, Massachusetts. One of the handful of players from the Commonwealth State here in this game for both schools. Back at the point, Wise. Now Adamski looking for somebody in front. Shot was blocked. Adamski centers it again, looking for Cipriano. Chips it back. Another chance for Adamski. Fans on the one-timer. Now behind the net, Palladino tries the wraparound. Ends up back to Adamski. Good cycle going here for James Madison, looking for the game's first goal. Adamski the shot. It's calmly into the glove of Cameron Holman. Stops play with 9:10 to go in our second period. Well, Holman certainly has stood up to the test here. Niners have had to weather 28 shots from James Madison, along with 3 penalty kills. Keep this game scoreless. Dukes win the draw on the shot. Is deflected out of play off of a Niner via the stick of Lowry. Again, play stops with 9:04 to go. Arguably, JMU has been dominating throughout the course of this game, particularly since the 12-minute mark of the first period. These teams played in November. It was an even matchup for the most part. Even though the scoreline ended up 4-1, shots were just about even. Not so here in Winston-Salem in this win-or-go-home scenario. Lowry kept it in. Niners trying to clear it out. There's Dix. He's able to knock it out. James Madison wanted to get back in. It would have been a delayed offside. They're able to tag up. Jensen sends it forward. Goes into Duke's territory. Here's Morrow, and we've got a stoppage at play, and I believe a penalty on James Madison, a holding call. Nope, it is on Charlotte. So Charlotte has taken their 4th penalty. The dreaded offensive zone penalty that is called on Dylan Nix. Time of the penalty, 11:27. And James Madison will go on their fourth power play. So again, another test for Cameron Holman and his Charlotte 49ers. James Madison is out shooting Charlotte 28-10. Lowry couldn't keep it in as it skated out to center. Here's Drew Bauman. Bauman gets around Cipriano. Deals it backward, allows him to kill some more time, but the Dukes take over with Gould. Gould into Niner territory. Drops it back to the point. Palladino. Gould in the corner. There's a spin off of Workman. Check that. Larson. Back of the point. It's kept in by Cipriano. Working on him is Morrow. Cipriano gets around Morrow. Cipriano skates in behind the goal. Has the puck on a strain. Now he stops. This is Palladino. Adamski, Palladino in the corner. Palladino trying to turn around in front. Lowry stops in the high slot. Now Adamski. Cross ice. Palladino. Over for Adamski. Shot, save, rebound, and they're trying to find the puck. No whistle yet. Finally, the referee blows the play dead with 57 seconds remaining on the power play. Puck had been loose, and the referee lost sight of the puck as finally it was covered up by Cameron Holman. Still scoreless with 7:30 to go in our second period. 57 seconds remaining on the tripping or on the holding call on Charlotte still in Dix. Holman continues to be superb in between the pipes for the Charlotte 49ers. James Madison has tripled up Charlotte in shots on goal now, 30-10. He's on the draw against Bradley. Bradley wins the draw. Trying to clear it out was Behrman. He can't. Dukes take over. Higginbotham now back into the corner. Maley. And it's taken away. Potential breakout here for Charlotte. It's Bradley. A good stick check by Carbone, who then delivers a hip check. That should be an interference call. Quickly went up, and that indeed is the call. We'll be even up 4-on-4 for the next 33 seconds as Anthony Carbone gets 2 minutes for interference. Beautiful looking hip check, but the puck well away from those two, which leads to the interference call. Anthony Carbone, who was ejected in the last meeting in November. He got a major for butt ending and a game misconduct in the third period of that 4-1 victory for Charlotte over James Madison. So 4-on-4 for the next 33 seconds, and the minute 27 of power play time for Charlotte will be their first power play. The time of the penalty was 12:55 on Carbone. So now some 4-on-4. Shot by Cipriano is knocked aside. Now the final 4 seconds of the 4-on-4. A shot by Cipriano goes over the net. Out of the box is Dix. And Dix will head right back to his bench to help complete the line change. Now the Niners on the power play, but it's JMU that's killing off time off that power play. Now down to a minute 10. Here's E to D. Now Bauman, a one-timer into the glove of Blevins. E to D. Now Bauman, a one-timer into the glove of Blevins. And he'll stop play with 32 seconds to go with the Charlotte man advantage. Bauman looking for his third goal against James Madison this season. Nice looking one-timer off that cross-ice pass from Aiden Behrman. Dukes control the face-off, try to clear it out. Workman has it in his skates. It's taken away by Bradley. Niners with 20 to go on the power play. High slot Behrman. Behrman stepping up. Over for Morrow, a shot wide of the net. Kept alive by Bauman. Now back behind the net, whacked right around the boards. A good clear. James Madison's Pasolowski. And that should about do it for the Charlotte power play. As getting ready to come out is Anthony Carbone. He exits the box. Team's at full strength. Charlotte 0 for 1 on the power play. Chance in front, and it's poked away and out of play off the stick of the netminder Gibbons. 4:59 left in period number 2. Still scoreless. JMU now 0 for 4 on the power play, and Charlotte 0 for 1 off of that truncated power play of 1 minute and 33 seconds, or 1 minute and 27 seconds, I should say. It was 33 seconds of 4-on-4. Dukes win the draw. Adamski in the Niner territories. He gets through Pucaccio. He's taken down in the corner. As the Niners try to break out, Dix in behind his own net. Pucaccio trying to help out, looking to dig it loose, and unable to keep it at the point is Carbone. Delayed offside on James Madison allows the Niners to break out. Here's Dix. Dix, long shot over the net. Wrapped around the boards. Adamski trying to clear out. Instead, it's intercepted. Set it in the rest of the way is Dix. And wide of the cage, nonetheless, covered up by Rylan Gibbons. Been rarely tested in this one so far. Has been credited with 11 saves. Well, those 2 of them were good scoring chances. Drew Bauman had one moments ago on the one-timer from the circle. On the face-off, it's controlled by the Dukes. On the face-off win by Quaid. Potential 2-on-1 if the Dukes hurry. It's chased into the corner by Maley. Tries to get it behind the net. Instead, taken away by Aiden Workman. Ahead to Owenby. Owenby leaves it back for Bradley. Bradley spins around, deals it back to the point. Workman shot flutters towards the net, sticked aside by Gibbons. Back to the point, Workman. Now the Dukes take over, looking to clear it out. It's Maley. Cross ice, Rewe. And Workman there to intercept at the Charlotte line. Workman now chasing it down once more. He's being followed by Jack Peters. Now Ian Brown off the end boards and around. Owenby trying to get there. Instead, he's beaten to it by Hayes. Hayes behind the net in front for Peters. It's blocked in front. And a potential breakaway here. Here's Brown. Wise able to get back. Now he's got some help with Bradley. Centers to Bradley. And it ends up behind the net. Good opportunity, but Brown and Bradley couldn't connect. Kept it at the point. There's a shot that's wide of the net by Behrman. And the Dukes able to clear out. Pushing and shoving in towards the Charlotte end. Kuchera picks it up. There's Gould to take it away to try and start this forecheck for James Madison. Looking to cycle, tries to find somebody in front, instead finds Workman. Rake that Behrman, and Behrman will clear it down the length of the ice. Right on goal to wave off the icing. The action picking up here inside the Fairgrounds Arena. Behind the net, Larson. Head to Roach. Higginbotham intercepts. Higginbotham, the good stick work to get into the zone. Can't get around the last defender. Good play by Kuchera. Here come the Niners the other way. Drew Bauman gains the zone. Bauman in behind the net. Back at the point, Larson. Sends it in deep. Pasolowski there to intercept. Morrow trying to get it back for Charlotte. He can't. And eventually it's cleared out the center. Kuchera. Shot on goal. Stick to side into the corner. Now Lowry trying to clear it out. Higginbotham skates to the center. Gets hauled down. Play continues. Here come the Niners the other way. It's Roach. Roach into Duke's territory. Gets around Pacholowski. In on goal. A save by Rylan Gibbons. A strong take to the net by Sean Roach. Again denied by Gibbons. 16th save of the night. Charlotte's got the shot count a little bit closer in the last few minutes. 1-point shots were 31-10. They are now 33-16, James Madison. Shot from the point by Brodeur is blocked. Higginbotham able to gather. Instead, it's chipped back out. Carbone will circle his own net. That's cleared out the center. Brodeur knocks it forward. Now he gathers at his own end. Plays it to the red line. There's a hard hit along the boards against Beelan. That was made by Denoya. Puck bounces into Charlotte territory. There's Declan Day behind the net. Tries to put one in front. Puck loose at the side of the cage. There's Brown to take it away. He's got an outlet pass. That's knocked away by Carbone. Good play to get it away from Beelan. Now Mowry. James Madison territory gets around Brodeur into the corner. The final 40 seconds in a scoreless second period. Cipriano. On him is Behrman. Cipriano centers this off the skate of Adamski. And Beelan able to clear it out to Brown. Head to Beelan. Beelan will send it the rest of the way. Now battle on in the corner. Bradley falls down. Eventually it squirts out to Adamski. He'll flip it into center. Final 10 seconds of the period. We'll tick away here. As in its own end, it's Workman. And that'll do it for the second period. Still no goals. Thanks to some strong goaltending at both ends. Rylan Gibbons, 16 saves for James Madison. And Cameron Holman, 33 stops for Charlotte. It's been Gibbons against Holman. They've done a good job tending the nets here in our play-in game between Charlotte and James Madison. No score. We continue with coverage of the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship after these. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. Still no score after 2 periods of play, joined by Coach Fleury from James Madison. And Coach, James Madison's controlled most of the play. They've almost doubled up Charlotte in shots, 33-16. What are some of the things you've liked from your team in the first 40 minutes?
It's just we're playing hard. We're attacking the zone. We're making opportunities. It's a far cry from what we had done in the previous game against them earlier in the year. Since we took over as a new coaching staff, the boys they're pretty pumped, and they're bringing it. But we just got to find that net. We got to put one in.
Well, 20 minutes left in regulation. Team has had opportunities. What are some of the things that you hope to accomplish in this third period that's coming up?
Just be disciplined, calm down a little bit. We're having those moments where we have the opportunity to put the puck in the net, and we're missing them because we're just a little anxious. So settle down just a little bit and continue to play our game.
Well, Coach Fleury, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in the third period.
Hey, go Dukes.
There you go. Dukes and Niners involved in a good battle. Still no score here in our second intermission. And we'll continue here from Winston-Salem after these. Zamboni on the ice. It means we're in the intermission. Second intermission at that. We're still looking for the game's first goal between James Madison and Charlotte. Paul Roper with you here in the play-in round of the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. Tomorrow, the winner will face St. Joe's, number 1 seed in this tournament. We'll take a look at what's happening in the rest of this bracket for the weekend. We've got one more game to come later. App State Mountaineers, East Carolina Pirates. Puck drop at 10 p.m. Then tomorrow, we'll kick off with Richmond and Elon in the 4-5 game. That's at 8 a.m. Followed by Georgetown and Georgia Tech at 10:30. Then at 7 o'clock, it's the winner of this game between JMU and Charlotte taking on the top seed St. Joe's at 7. And in the nightcap at approximately 9:45, it'll be either App State or East Carolina against the 2 seed Virginia. Semifinals on Saturday, and they'll award the Admirals Cup Sunday with a puck drop at 2 p.m. Well, it sets up a fun weekend here inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena, formerly known as the Annex. They changed its name rather recently to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena, home of the FPHL's Twin City Thunderbirds, who have certainly taken the city by storm since they were founded a few years ago. And part of great hockey in this area. You also have got the Greensboro Gargoyles down the road that play at First Horizon Coliseum, formerly the Greensboro Coliseum, in their first year in the ECHL. Team whose ownership group includes Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney. Hockey certainly growing in this state thanks to the continued exploits and resurgence of the Carolina Hurricanes. And no doubt by the amount of college hockey programs we have in this state, including Charlotte. And we'll see 2 more from the Old North State later on in ASU and ECU. We continue on with second intermission. Still no score between Charlotte and James Madison. We'll be back after these. Welcome back to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we get ready for the start of the third period between James Madison and Charlotte. Still no score here in the play-in round of the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship. My name is Paul Roper. Thank you for joining us. Winner of this game will take on the St. Joseph's Hawks out of Philadelphia tomorrow. Looking forward to that one, seeing St. Joe's coming to town. And stay tuned later on for ECU and Appalachian State. Teams haven't got on the ice yet. They are a little bit delayed in manicuring the ice surface. So the Niners now finally take the ice, led by the terrific Cameron Holman. He's been great. 33 saves for Holman, as the Dukes have outshot the Niners 33-16. Well, arguably the best chance of the second period belonged to Charlotte. That was off the one-timer on their shortened man advantage by Drew Bauman. Got a good feed from Behrman from the left face-off circle as we see it. It went into the glove of Rylan Gibbons. Rylan Gibbons has been the workhorse for this team this year. He has had most of their starts. A very good story. He has helped raise guide dogs for the CNI back in his home of New Jersey. Hails from Sparta, New Jersey. NJ.com had a nice article of how he helps train those dogs and fosters them before they end up to the visually impaired. And of course, that's a cause that's near and dear to Winston-Salem, as there's an Industries for the Blind here in Winston-Salem. Certainly think Rylan Gibbons and all those who help with CNI dogs around the country. Let me take a look at the JMU bench. And James Madison pleased with how they played in the first 40 minutes, as you heard in our intermission interview, but just haven't been able to solve Cameron Holman. Really haven't been able to solve either goaltender this year, as Charlotte goaltenders have now stopped 67 shots of the 68 that has been thrown at them by JMU this year. The only person who was able to break that was Michael Pelishani. Broke up a shutout bid with 4:47 remaining in the November game played between these two squads. Teams ramped up for the third period. We're underway. JMU controls. Pasolowski. Lowry. Pasolowski. Sends it forward. Off the stick. Palladino. Now Cipriano takes a check. Workman gives it behind the net. Ian Brown takes over for Charlotte as he clears it out the center. Stopped by Lowry at the red. They'll dump it. Brodeur whacks it around the boards, and it couldn't be kept in at the point by Pasolowski. Dukes will regroup. Here in our opening minute of play in the third period, no score. Pasolowski chased around the net by Brown, sends it into center. Pasolowski chips it in and looks to chase it down along Brodeur. They collide in the corner. Now Brown looking to clear it out. Good cross-ice pass ahead to Owenby. Owenby on the wing. Owenby going one-on-one. Good stick check by Denoy to prevent a good opportunity. And the Dukes able to clear out. The late offside on the Niners will need to touch up as it's sent in deep. Now it's behind the JMU net. There to collect is Denoya. Downling on him was Morrow. Eventually cleared out the center. Higginbotham can't get it around Kuchera. Now the Dukes break in. Gould lost it in to Larson. Gould trying to win it back towards the corner. Gets taken down from behind. Play continues. Now Drew Bauman. They will clear it out the center. Ahead for Morrow. Knocked into the zone by Roach. Back in behind the cage. Here's Carbone. Drew Bauman trails him. Evades the stick check of Roach. Carbone still with it. And he slides it towards the goaltender. And Holman opts to stop play. 2 minutes and 4 seconds in. No score. Third period. JMU with the only shot Here's the first 2+ minutes of the third period. And again, Holman standing tall between the pipes for the Niners. Face-off coming up. Sessa on the face-off against Quaid. Duke's control behind the net. Day lost control. Thielen looking to clear it out. He was stick-checked. A good play by Wise, and they're able to clear it out. Rewe sends it deep into the Charlotte zone. Behrman trying to chip it out. Instead, it's intercepted by Day. Now Muchachio. Goes all the way in behind the JMU net. Wise looking forward for Day out of his reach. Bounces in towards the net. That'll wave off any icing, and Holman decides to cover up the stop play. 2 minutes and 44 seconds into the third period. There's Keldon Mowry, sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia. That's part of the Ashburn Extreme Hockey Club prior to joining JMU. Up from the high slot, deflected in and kicked aside by Holman. That was a good shot from the high slot by Pasolowski. Now behind the net, it's Lowry. Lowry looking for some help. Skates it towards the half wall. Now back at the point. And the puck ends up squirting out of the zone. James Madison now realized it, and they'll call the offside as a result. Peters was chasing it down as if the puck hadn't left the zone. You get some time to leave the zone under delayed offside, but you linger a little bit too long, they'll stop play like they did just now. Now William Bradley on the faceoff against Cipriano. Dukes win it. It's dumped in deep. Pasolowski behind the net. Behrman. Maley keeps it alive for JMU. Back to the point. Pasolowski flutters wide of the net. Here's Peters. Peters. And behind the goal, looking for someone in front. Instead, we'll skate it towards the half wall. Back to the point. Pasolowski. Pasolowski steps up, shot. Deflected over the net. And behind the goal, Cipriano. Back to Lowry. Lowry juggles the puck, loses it to center. Brown trying to steal it back. He can't. Lowry. And he just offside. Cipriano couldn't get out in time. And another offside on JMU. 3:37 into the third period. Still no score. Back to action, Roach. In behind the JMU net, looking for somebody in front of the pass. Escapes into the neutral zone. Morrow whacks it in. Carbone takes over for JMU. And there's Morrow again. Deals it backward for Larson. Larson sends it in JMU territory. That'll be an icing. He was on the other side of the red before he sent that in. So the faceoff goes back into the Charlotte end. 4:04 into the third. Well, not much action to speak of in the first 4+ minutes of this third period. Shots are 4-0 JMU in the third. Higginbotham tries to swing around in front, lost control of the puck. Alman clears it out ahead to Roach. Roach across the red, knocks it into the JMU zone. Behind the net, Bauman gives chase along with Denoya. Denoya gets there first. Here's Gould, Morrow on him, and again works it backwards. Denoya. Bauman trying to steal it. Dukes try to break out, looking past there to find Hayes. Hayes has got a 3-on-2 entering the zone. Hayes lost control of it. Higginbotham overskates it, as does the Niner and Gould of JMU. And here come the Niners with Roach. Roach into the JMU zone. Sandwiched between a couple of Dukes, trying to chase it down to the corner. And eventually the Dukes come up with it. It's Hayes. Into the Charlotte end, gets around Brodeur. Hayes, sharp angle shot blocked. Brodeur takes it away. And out to center is Dix. Dix almost knocked over. Now a chance the other way. 2-on-2. Cipriano, a shot. Not knocked away. Long rebound. Sharp angle shot ends up behind the net from Riwi and out of the zone. Almost a break the other way, but the Duke's able to catch up. It's Owenby. Ends off a good check as he slides to the ice. Nice physical play there from Tyler Wise of JMU, but now here's Brown. Brown into the corner, overskates the puck. Wise takes it back for JMU. Looking ahead. Goes off the stick of Adamski to negate an icing. Now Bradley. Ahead to Owenby. Owenby wraps it around the boards. Lowry meets up with Dix. Eventually chips out the center. Sent into the zone by Brodeur. Now it's Cipriano. Breakout pass. Mowry in on goal. And couldn't get the shot off. Puck just kept in, but there's Brown able to knock it loose. Brown gets taken down. A penalty coming up on JMU. Charlotte about to go on the man advantage. They'll let Lowry touch it up behind the net. Now a big opportunity for Charlotte at the 6:22 mark of the third period. Hooking will be the call on Jackson Pasolowski. We'll look one more time as Ian Brown was taken down. He's had some good minutes so far. Done a few nice things on the ice, including drawing that penalty. Gives Charlotte their first full 2-minute power play. They are 0 for 1. They had a power play that lasted a minute 27 of the second period. Bauman from the circle with a shot. Oh, goes into the corner. It was knocked away by Gibbons. Now Morrow back at the point. It's kept alive by Behrman. Over to Bauman in the slot. Bauman on goal. Shot wide to the net. Minute 40 left on the Charlotte power play as the Dukes clear. Bauman forward working one of the points for the Charlotte 49ers on this power play. Morrow cross ice to Bauman. Bauman now spins around. Skated towards the high slot. Fires a shot in on goal and a save by Rylan Gibbons. Will freeze with a minute 19 to go on the Charlotte man advantage. Shots on goal 38-18 for James Madison. Take a look at Pasolowski in the penalty box for JMU. And your defenseman from Baltimore, Maryland. Niners win the draw on the man advantage. Behrman. Leaves it for Bauman. Back to Behrman. Behrman working along the high slot. Fires a shot towards goal. Calmly into the glove of Gibbons. Into the glove. And Gibbons will cover up. 1:05 to go on the power play for Charlotte. JMU controls the face-off. Couldn't clear it out of the zone off the wraparound. Behrman. And good stick work right there, but Behrman able to keep it alive. Cipriano able to clear. Drew Bauman. And there's Cipriano to take it away. Has a 2-on-1 if he hurries. Cipriano drops it back. Palladino looks in front. Behrman takes it away. Final 35 seconds of the Charlotte power play. Still looking for her first goal here in Winston-Salem. A shot knocked wide. Roach trying to chase it down. It ends up to Bauman. And the puck bounces out to center. Niners will have to regroup with 20 remaining on the penalty. James Madison's Pasolowski. Here's Roach. Roach drops it back. Larson. Cross ice. Shot from the circle. A save. Puck is loose in front. Knocked down by Higginbotham. And Higginbotham will skate it towards center here in the final seconds of this penalty kill for James Madison. Now here's Larson. Teams at even strength. Out of the box is Pasolowski. Centering pass goes through. And here's Lowry to take it and clear it out towards center. It's knocked down towards Dix. He takes a check. Now Gould trying to get around Muchacho. He can't. And instead it's Higginbotham. Higginbotham spins around in the corner. Then there's a shot by Denoya wide of the net and in behind the goal. Holman able to cover up on the side of the cage. And we have a timeout on the ice with 11:09 to go. Still no score. Charlotte now 0 for 2 on the power play. The remainder of the third period coming up after this timeout. $11:09 left in the third period. Still looking for our first goal in Winston-Salem. Here in the ACCHL Men's Division II Elite Championship play-in game. Winner will face St. Joe's tomorrow. The puck goes down the length of the ice, and it's an icing call on Charlotte. Back to the Charlotte end we go. Look at Brendan Weary. A lot of New Jersey flavor between these two schools. He hails from Pennington, New Jersey, which is located outside of its state capital, Trenton. Dukes win the draw. Shot for the point, deflected wide. Got a piece of Quaid in front. Charlotte takes it out the other way with some numbers. Brown trying to skate past the defender. Centering pass knocked away. Good stick work by Wise. Now the Dukes clear out. Now the Dukes with Day. Day, and goes right in on goal and calmly collected and smothered by the goaltender, Cameron Holman. A busy man tonight. 38 saves for Holman, compared to 20 to his counterpart at JMU, Rylan Gibbons. Another face-off coming up in the Charlotte zone. Morrow against Hayes on the draw. Morrow controls it for the Niners. But Lowry able to take over in the corner as he skates in around the cage. Goes back to the point. Long shot deflects through traffic and careens into the corner. Peters can't keep alive as the puck squirms back out to JMU territory. Gibbons leaves it for Lowry. Lowry ahead. Now it's Peters. Peters steals it. It's taken away by A.J. Jensen. Now Bauman forward to Morrow. Morrow into the JMU zone. Morrow trying to get around the defender. He can't. Hayes takes it. We've got a penalty coming up, I do believe. Yep, an interference call coming up. Well, we've got a power play coming up for Charlotte, as Anthony Carbone has picked up his second interference penalty of the game. And he got it from nudging Morrow there. So now Charlotte on the man advantage for the third time. They're 0 for 2. One of these teams trying to break through here is Carbone. Gets 2 for interference at 10:09. Niners control the faceoff. High slot, Behrman winds and fires, kicked away into the corner. Good kick save and a beauty from Rylan Gibbons. Now it's Morrow. Morrow in towards the goal, gets around the defender, lost the puck. Takes control back in the corner. Good work by Cipriano to take it away at 2-on-1 if he hurries. Niners able to catch up. Cipriano over skates. Behrman now tips it forward back in the other direction towards Morrow. Morrow into the JMU zone, offside. Roach a step ahead to his right. With 1:25 to go on the power play for the Charlotte 49ers. Second period shot 6-5 in favor of James Madison. 39-21 for the game in favor of the Dukes. Niners control the faceoff. Bauman to Behrman. Morrow backwards to Behrman. In the zone, Bradley. And tried to knock it back to the point. Instead, it goes back into Charlotte territory. Behrman. Now Morrow over for Bauman. Niners break out. Bauman into the Duke zone. Stay on side. Ends up behind the net. Wise there to get in front of Morrow. Rather, Bradley now battling along with Roach and Wise. Killing off some precious time on this penalty kill for James Madison is Wise. He comes out with a loose puck in behind the net. Pasolowski also there to help him. Wise still has it. Bangs it off the boards and out. Good job on the penalty kill by AMU's Tyler Wise. Now the final 25 seconds, the man advantage for Charlotte. Both teams switch up personnel on special teams. Brown. Across the red. Entering with Owenby. Here's Owenby now. Owenby had a shot blocked. It hit the face of Lowry, and they're going to stop play. He took a shot right there, but I think once again on this entry from Brown and Owenby, we'll see exactly where he got that. Fortunately, he's got the full cage on. It's just a shock to the system when that happens, even if you have that protection. They stop play as a precaution with 9 seconds to go on the power play for Charlotte. Sessa on the face-off against Palladino. Palladino controls, back for Lowry. Lowry spins around. That's just about do it for this Charlotte power play as Carbone leaves the penalty box. Teams at even strength. Final 7:45 here in the third period. Looking for our first goal in Winston-Salem. Brown tried to take it away. Good job by Cipriano to keep it alive. He enters his own. Shot from the high slot. Glove down by Cameron Holman. Keeping this game scoreless with 7:36 to go. That was a shot that could have been targeted towards the top of the net. Good glove work by Holman, who now has 40 saves in over 52 minutes here in Winston-Salem. Very busy for the Niners this evening. Shot off the draw is shouldered over the glass, out of play. A tricky shot from Jimmy Hayes. It was fended off by Holman. For save number 41. Hayes wins the faceoff for JMU. Back to Rewe. Around the boards, Gould. Trying to get around Brodeur. Brodeur knocked into him. Play continues. They're continuing to battle along the half wall. And eventually Roach will tip it out. Rewe. Now Higginbotham into the Charlotte end. Higginbotham with a shot wide of the net. Ends up behind the cage. Overskating the puck was Hayes. That allows Brodeur to try and clear it out. He gets help from Bauman. Bauman gains the red line and then dumps it in. Roach. It's hit into the boards by Hayes. Battle along the boards. Hayes able to win it out. He's got Higginbotham. Higginbotham. Long shot. Blockered away by Holman. Brodeur able to clear it out off of Bauman. Dukes had the touch up on the offside. That accounts for the delayed entry. Now Brodeur takes over, trying to clear it out. It's kept in by Pasolowski. He'll just fire it in deep. Good opportunity in front, but it goes off the stick of Declan Day. Back to the point for Lowry, who's able to hold it in. Mowry. Eventually, Behrman is able to squib it into the neutral zone. Approaching 6 minutes to play here in the third period. Looking for our first goal between James Madison and Charlotte. Behind the net, Quaid tried to get it back to the point and went through Lowry. And that will allow some tired bodies to get off the ice for Charlotte. Pasolowski in behind the net. On him is his counterpart number 5, Ian Brown. They continue to battle. Eventually it goes out into the corner where it's recovered, and we have a stoppage in play for a hand pass. Stops play with 5:40 to go in the third period. Now, that was an inadvertent whistle. The faceoff will go to the left of the netminder, Rylan Gibbons. James Madison doubling up Charlotte in shots, 42-21. Sessa on the faceoff against Cipriano. Dukes control with Lowry. Lowry trying to dig it out into center. He does, ahead to Day. Day in towards goal. A shot knocked away by Gibbons. Knocked away by Holman. And here come the Dukes once again. Shot from the slot blocked. Muchacho clears it out. Here comes Beeland. Beeland with a shot into the glove. That's Rylan Gibbons who makes the stop with 5:09 to go. MU bench with some instructions trying to will their team into the opening goal here. Again, have dominated most of the play, but right now, with nothing to show for it. For that matter, Charlotte with nothing to show for it either, with no score here in Winston-Salem. Here's Bauman. So we'll try and start the cycle, the Niners. Back to the point. Jensen steps up with a shot, kicked away. Rebound blocked in front, and the Dukes able to clear it out. Puck is slowing down. Doesn't have enough room for the icing. Behrman recovers. Trying to wrap it for Jensen. That's kept in by Cipriano. And the third time is a charm for the Niners to clear it. Here's Roach into the Duke zone. He gets around Denoya. Roach behind the net. Roach looking in front. Nobody home. Except for the stick of Eric Cipriano of JMU. And it's dumped into the Charlotte end. Dukes complete a line change. Here's Bauman at the red. Shot ends up being blockered away by Gibbons. Wise. Round on him. Wise into the zone. Wise looking for somebody in front. There with a good block. Wise still has it. Gets to his position on the point. Wraps it around the boards. Chasing it down into the corner is Maley. And now Behrman able to dig it loose. Knocked down by the high stick. It's negated by Wise. Wise into the Niner zone. A shot into the glove of Holman, and he'll stop play with 3:35 to go. Tyler Wise on your screen, or the Washington Little Caps system. 3 players on JMU listed as part of the Little Caps system, including Jackson Pasolowski and Vinny Lowry. All 3 of them are defensemen on this JMU team. Another face-off here in the Duke zone between Bradley and Hayes. Charlotte wins the draw. And we'll get it into the Duke's end. Lowry spins around the forechecker Brown and ends up ahead to Hayes. Hayes in on goal. That's blockered over the net. Back of the point. It's held in by Pasolowski. And taken by Charlotte Zachary Larson. Larson full head of steam. Shot wide of the net. And it's cleared out to center. Brown chases it down. There's a head cross ice. Good pass as he's able to get it to Larson. Larson spins around into the opposite corner. Gould able to whack it out. The puck slowly bounces into Charlotte territory. The Dukes begin a line change. Under 2:40 to play. Puck intercepted by Cipriano. He's going to set it in the rest of the way. He cannot. Now Owenby the other way. Owenby overskates the puck. So does Palladino. And now it's Denoya. Denoya centers it. The shot. There's a save. Rebound for Denoya. Another save. Holman covers up. Denoya pinch it in. Denied from point-blank range. After the shot by Cipriano. Gave up a big rebound to Denoya, and he couldn't bury it. Holman, time and time again, answering the bell. Done a good job to squeeze that post and not give Denoya much room to shoot. Final 2:20 here in the third period as the puck goes down towards the Duke's end. No icing as the puck again doesn't have enough steam on this Fairgrounds Arena ice surface. Cipriano drops it back for Palladino. And Holman again covers up to stop play with 2 minutes, 3 seconds remaining. James Madison still doubling up Charlotte in shots now, 46-23. The Dukes out shooting the Niners 13-7 in the third period. Another face-off in the Charlotte end. And Roach controls for the Niners. He's got a 2-on-1 if he hurries with Bauman. Here's Roach in on goal. Shoots in a good diving block made by Denoya. Prevented a scoring chance. And now it's Denoya with it in the corner. It goes down the length of the ice. They wave off the ice as the goaltender touched it. Roach, puck goes through him. Here's Reilly. Reilly with a shot. And again, there to gobble it up is Holman to stop play. 90 seconds remain. That was a tricky little shot there that Bauman was able to gather. Again, James Madison, the ice has been tilted in that direction to my left as you see it for most of this third period. Now Behrman. Owenby. Tried to clear out, he can't. Day keeps it alive for JMU. Day. Over to Mowry, back at the point. Now Wise. Wise in front, the shot. There's a save and a rebound cleared away. Ends up back for a point shot. It's blocked by his own man as Quaid kicked it into the corner. And finally it's cleared out. It's Brown. Brown leaves it back. In on goal. Oh, and Bradley couldn't get a good shot off. In the final minute here of the third period of a scoreless game. Bradley from the red line will dump it into the JMU zone. Wise and Brown meet up for the puck. Wise wins it out. Now ahead, here is Declan Day. On dump and chase. It's one out by Charlotte's Kuchera. Kuchera fell down. Gould takes over. Gould with 30 seconds to go. Instead, it ends up onto the stick of Roach. He'll knock it out to center. Stopped by Lowry at the red line. Then dumped forward by Hayes. Battle in the corner. And eventually, play will stop with 10.7 seconds to go. Let's see what caused that stoppage there. Nevertheless, be one more chance for James Madison if they can win the draw. Try to avoid an overtime here. Instead, it's the Niners who control. Skating into center is Kuchera. Dumps in the rest of the way, and we will go to overtime. In search of our first goal. We're guaranteed to have one here. Winner will win 1-0. We'll find out who it is. And what has been a terrific 60 minutes here inside Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. No score. Overtime ready to decide this one, and we will continue after this. Welcome back to Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we get ready for overtime. The teams have switched ends. They do not cut the ice between the end of regulation and the first overtime. But should that first overtime expire, then they will cut the ice. Should that happen, or nobody scores, it is the golden goal rule here. Next goal wins. We'll start with a 10-minute overtime period. Again, team switch ends, so it's a long change from the defensive zone in this extra session. 5-on-5 overtime. As we get ready for the overtime period, which is now underway. Shots were 14-7 in the third period for James Madison. They're out shooting Charlotte 47-23. If Charlotte wins this game, it's thanks to the efforts of that goalie you see on your screen, Cameron Holman. He has stonewalled the Dukes throughout the night. Dukes on the attack. There's a shot, a save off the stick of Holman. Good effort by Max Palladino, and the Niners able to clear. Haselowski tried to clear out. He couldn't. Roach with a shot just wide. Oh, he had a good opportunity to end it early in the overtime there. And here come the Dukes the other way. Overskating the puck was Hayes. Now it's Lowry. Ahead to Gould, trying to enter the zone. Potential 2-on-1 here. There's good stick work by A.J. Jensen. Well, check that. That's Aiden Behrman, 74 rather than 77. Ian Brown takes over. Full burst of speed in the zone. A shot deflects wide off of Pasolowski. Bradley trying to get it. He cannot. Falling down was Owenby. Could have had a good opportunity if he was able to stay on his skates. Brown stops it at the red line, being chased down by a couple of Dukes. Has the puck stolen by Higginbotham with a shot over the shoulder of Holman. And bounces out towards center. Player touches the puck coming off the JMU bench. Play stops with 8:37 to go here in the overtime period. And that is going to be a too many men on the ice penalty, I believe. Player came off, played the puck, and it is too many men on the ice. And that is a critical penalty for James Madison. Charlotte about to go on their fourth power play. Anthony Carbone will serve the minor. Penalty coming at 1:23 of the overtime period. Now here's Behrman in the high slot. Charlotte on the power play. Mora with a shot into the glove of Blevins through traffic. cover it up. Rylan Gibbons has stopped St. Blevins. It was Blevins who turned aside them in that last game. But Gibbons has been terrific as well tonight. And there's Morrow looking again. And Gibbons comes up with the save. Bradley on the face-off, able to win it. Controlled by Bauman, spins around the point to hold it in. Behrman, now Bauman, high slot. Bauman, Morrow in on goal. Morrow a shot, and again gobbled up by Rylan Gibbons. And he'll stop play with 1:38 to go with the man advantage for Charlotte. Stay tuned. Coming up after this game, it'll be App State and ECU in the 7-10 matchup. The Mountaineers waiting to our right in the corner. The outcome of this game. Behrman off the face-off win. Morrow back to Behrman, fakes the shot. Now to Behrman, spins around the point. There's Behrman again. Over for Drew Bauman. Now to Behrman at the point. Goes to Morrow opposite point. Bauman able to handle it at the right point. 1:10 and ticking on the power play for Charlotte. Bauman being patient. Back to Behrman. Behrman to Bauman. Bauman top of the circle to Behrman, high slot. Behrman winds and fires into the chest of Gibbons, and will stop play with 7:35 to go in overtime. 57 seconds remaining on the JMU penalty for too many men on the ice. So Charlotte with an opportunity to steal one here, despite being outshot by a wide margin, 47-26. Charlotte takes control with Owenby. Back to Morrow. Morrow deals it back. Behrman. Drew Bauman. Bauman with a shot. He fans on it. Retains control of the puck. Now it's Morrow. Morrow steps up, winds and fires. Blockered away. Gibbons with another save. JMU will clear it out. Now Adamski trying to chase it into the corner. Adamski in behind the net. On him is Behrman. Final 25 seconds of the Charlotte power play. Adamski wins it out, killing off some more times off this penalty. Here's Bauman for Charlotte. Into the final 13 seconds of the man advantage. Bauman into the JMU zone. Spins around to the corner. Falls down. And JMU is able to kill the rest of the penalty. Carbone steps back on the ice. Teams at even strength. Both teams 0 for 4 on the man advantage. We remain goalless in Winston-Salem. Less than 6.5 minutes to go in overtime. Owenby at the red line. Now enters the JMU end. Sends it in deep. Sessa looking to chase after it. Instead, it's Wise who intercepts. It's cleared out of the zone by Day. And you trying to break out. Dick's looking to knock the puck backward. He's able to. Larson looking up the wing for Dix. The puck slowly skates into the corner. Battle long in the corner. Muchaccio trying to dig it out for Charlotte. Couple of players from each team battling along the boards. As it's underneath Muchaccio and a Duke. Eventually the Dukes come up with it thanks to the work of Ryan Quaid. Higginbotham. And on goal, sharp angle shot through the crease. Muchaccio. And now Pasolowski. Here's Cipriano. Centers to Palladino. Instead ends up to Adamski. Backhand was blocked. And a high slot kept in by Lowry. Lowry skated in. Lowry a shot. It's blocked. Niners try to turn it the other way. Lowry trying to use his body to protect the puck. And now the Dukes will regroup in the neutral zone. Tipped into the Charlotte end. Behrman takes over. Cross ice for Brodeur. Brown. Back to Brodeur and ahead for Owenby. Owenby lost control. And Lowry takes over for the Dukes. Drops back for a shot by Pasolowski. Stick of Brodeur was knocked away. He picks it back up. Pasolowski towards goal. It's wide of the cage. Bounces into the corner and out to Lowry at the point. Cipriano spins around, looking for some help. Turnaround shot over the cage and into the corner. Pasolowski keeps it at the point. Palladino trying to be the hero for JMU. Now leaves it for Cipriano. Battle in the corner along with Behrman. The shot flutters wide of the net. Pretty much fanned on by Palladino. Good cycle going here for JMU. Pasolowski keeping it in ahead of Brown. Trying to continue to will it forward, he can. Here's Brown the other way for Charlotte. Some tired bodies on the ice for the Niners as Brown skates in. Brown, shot from the circle, blockered away by Gibbons. And here come the Dukes the other way. Less than 3:45 to play in the 10-minute overtime period. Still no score. Werner will face the St. Joseph's Hawks tomorrow in the quarterfinal round. Gould clears it out ahead to Denoya. Now Higginbotham into the zone with Hayes. Higginbotham with a shot. Kicked away into the corner by Holman. Higginbotham with it behind the net. Tried to get it back in front of Denoya. He could not. Denoya able to pick it up in the corner. Deals it back to Carbone at the point. Carbone with a shot. Block. Good block by Roach. It's kicked out the center. Now the Niners will try to go on the attack here. Here's Roach. Roach in the slot. Roach to his right. There's a shot that's backhanded and stopped by Gibbons off the effort from Zach Morrow. And play stops with 3 minutes to go in this overtime period. Shots are 6-1 Charlotte in the overtime. Face off in the JMU zone. Was one out by the Niners trying to keep the puck alive. There's a shot, a goal! The game winner for Dylan Sessa. Got the loose change in front. And the Niners steal one from the Dukes to win it in overtime. 7:06 into the extra period. Dylan Sessa is the hero, along with the goaltender Cameron Holman, who stops all 48 shots to lead the Niners to a 1-0 overtime victory over James Madison. It'll be the Niners and the Hawks tomorrow night in Winston-Salem. Welcome back to the Annex, what was formerly known as the Annex, the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. And what a finish here in Winston-Salem for our opening game of the tournament, as the Charlotte 49ers, despite being outshot 48-30, win it in overtime by the final score of 1-0 over James Madison. Paul Roper with you. The game-winning goal from Dylan Sessa coming at the 7:06 mark of overtime. Dylan Sessa scoring the goal. Is the replay once again as the puck was blocked in front, and Sessa was able to bait it into the cage and give the Niners the victory. They come streaming off the bench. And here's a look from another angle as it bounced off the skate of the defender, Quaid, and Johnny on the spot is Dylan Sessa, who gets home the game winner glove side against Rylan Gibbons. Gibbons makes 29 saves, while Charlotte, no doubt their star, other than the golden goal from Sessa, it'd have to be Cameron Holman. 48 saves. 48 saves, and he made some tough saves as well to earn that shutout and give Charlotte a 1-0 victory over James Madison. So it'll be Charlotte and St. Joe's in our first game of the evening session tomorrow as the 8-seed Charlotte advances. We'll take on the 1-seed St. Joseph. So we got another game coming up, and this should be a good one. I expect a high-scoring physical game out of App State and ECU. These two teams put the puck in the net when they played each other in Fayetteville on back-to-back days in October. And those schools don't like each other. It'll be a pretty healthy rivalry that we'll see on the ice here in about 20 minutes' time, we'll say. But for now, Charlotte the winner, 1-0, thanks to the goal by Dylan Sessa. It is Dylan Sessa with the goal, the assist to Dylan Dix and Kyle Beeland at 7:06 of overtime for the game's only goal to make it a 1-0 Charlotte win. So I'll wrap it up for game one. We'll set it back for game two. And we'll have a coach interview first. We'll go down to the corner. We've got Coach McCarthy. And boy, oh boy, what a game that was, Coach, as Charlotte wins it 1-0. Dylan Sessa comes through, but tell you what, your team didn't quit out there. And thanks to your netminder, Cameron Holman, he was sterling with 48 saves. Certainly a big part in the victory today.
Yeah, no, it's Cam all year has been solid for us, gives us a chance to win each and every day, and the guys battled back hard. We didn't have a great start, but overcame the adversity and kept going and just getting bodies and pucks to the net, and I'm happy for Dylan to get that goal there to advance us to the next round.
Well, they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And for Charlotte, it looked like in that overtime period, they had that extra juice. I mean, the energy was especially out during that overtime period. They outshot JMU 7-1, and it results in a game-winning goal. How proud of you, the effort by your team to hang in there throughout the 67 minutes that were played here in Winston-Salem tonight?
I was extremely proud of them. The message was we have to find that passion. We're all here for a reason, and dig back to that youth hockey age where all you want to do is grow your career, and we didn't want it to end tonight, and they took that message and ran with it, and we ended up coming out the win.
Well, terrific win for your team. Looking forward to it tomorrow when you take on St. Joe's. Enjoy this one, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is head coach James McCarthy of the Charlotte 49ers after they win it 1-0 over the James Madison Dukes. On the overtime goal by Dylan Sessa. Again, it was Sessa from Dix and Beeland at 7:06 to win it for the Charlotte 49ers. And we're going to send it down to the hero of the game. He is Dylan Sessa. Dylan, congratulations on getting that goal for overtime. How did it feel to come through in the overtime period?
It just felt amazing. To be honest, I'm still out of breath. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of Cam, our goalie. He fought to the end. The whole team fought to the end. Nobody gave up. Everybody fought, and the puck just happened to be on my stick, and I took the shot and right in. I couldn't believe it. So it's an unreal feeling.
It's a terrific feeling. Now, I hope these stats are correct. Was that your first goal this season?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what a time to have a first goal.
I know.
And that is
it's about time.
It's about time, and it comes at an important time. Now, you talked about the play of Cameron Holman. Boy, oh boy, was he terrific tonight. 48 shots, some difficult chances throughout. He gave you guys a chance to win. It seemed like you guys fed off his energy. Yeah, just every period. We took it shift by shift, period by period. And Cam, man, he's tough as nails. He stuck it out all game. He didn't give up. He just fought. An unreal performance from him. I mean, the whole team. We just fought. That's who we are. We grind. We're not pretty. We just work till the end. That you did. Well, Dylan, congratulations. Enjoy this one. Good luck tomorrow against St. Joe's.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Dylan Sessa. He's the hero. His first goal of the season comes at an opportune time. The overtime winner against the James Madison Dukes. Right now, you've got App State on the ice along with ECU in the black jerseys this evening with the Colorado Avalanche-style numbers, and App State with their colors of black and gold, looking a little bit like the Boston Bruins. Should be a fun one when these two teams play in a matter of moments, and we can't wait to bring it to you. Mountaineers and Pirates coming up after the Niners beat the Dukes 1-0 in the first game of the play-in round at the 2026 ACCHL Men's Division. Coming your way in a few moments.